around town and wondering about where you can get a nice meal? Well, look no further than Yamushe Restaurant. At Yamushe Restaurant, we serve nice meals ranging from shima with chicken, shima with T-bone, shima with fresh fish, shima with sausage and assorted vegetables. We also sell snacks and refreshments. We are located right in town along Cairo Road behind Zanaco Bank. For your weddings, kitchen parties, Chilanga Mulilo, and your birthday celebrations, we have a very nice place located in Road Park near Zesco main offices. Come and enjoy T-bone and soup yambuzi. For more information, you can call us on 0975 37 18 10 or 0977 67 13 94. Yamushe General Dealers, we care for you all. Okay.
Arise and shine. It is Saturday morning, the 22nd of February 2025, where it is a big day, of course, for the Ngoni people out there. Shout out for all the Ngonis who are watching us, wherever you're watching us. Today is in Chwala ceremony. People were asking to say, which one is the actual event? Which day? Is it Friday? Is it Thursday? Is it Saturday? Of course, it is today, and today is our topic of focus. Of course, we don't have a topic, but we're looking at the random stories of the week. Whatever story that you heard, definitely we'll talk about it. But don't forget, you can also call us and participate by simply calling and let us know the stories that you are picking. I'm not alone in the studio. I've been joined by Alice Lungu and General Piri. As you can see, I'm the only one who is not wearing I don't know what you call this, right?
You know what? We are called Easterners. Easterners, wireless. You are a mudenda.
Of course, I should maintain my lane. Don't forget to maintain your lane wherever you are. And randomly, I asked someone yesterday to say, surely, for the Ngonis, I think this is the biggest ceremony that Zambia has, and someone answered to say, no, it's not the only one. There is also something for the Lozis, but I only asked one question: what is their song?
Those are my tribal cousins.
Yeah, those are my tribal cousins. Don't worry when I talk about the Lozis, because those are actually my tribal cousins.
Yeah, that's something about our culture, you know. Us from the Eastern, we just have the rich culture. I don't know if you can second with me, General.
Definitely.
There's just something about the Eastern.
The rich culture.
The rich culture, the songs, the dances. Oh my God.
And you know one thing that is actually making me laugh on social media is the way the members are so jealous of this ceremony. They keep posting, hey, ceremony. Yeah, I wish it was ours.
And this time I've noticed there are a lot of members,
yes,
dancing to our songs, putting on our outfits. The members are actually in the forefront of the Nchwala ceremony, which is good. They are our tribal cousins. We appreciate them.
You know, I just randomly called someone to say, are you at the venue? Said, I'm not pitching you kusadi kumalawa where sinaziwe. Nchwala is actually in Chipata. Don't forget that
Mutengule village.
Anyway, you will talk about it, you people. Don't forget that we have stories that made headlines actually during the week. Although those that you saw on the social media, a lot of frustrations, happinesses, the mixed feelings. This was a very big week actually for everyone. We've started with the Ngonis because this is their day. We'll surely do something special right here at Lumen TV, the Morning Diary. Alice and General, one thing that I love about you people is that you are always organized. Look at the Ngoni.
in my DNA.
Proud. I was asking myself, is Alice really Ngoni? What tribe are you?
I'm in Senga.
Oh wow.
Senga. But very proud.
Very proud to
very proud because we are one. We are all coming from Eastern Province.
We celebrate each other.
We celebrate each other.
United, we stand.
And Nchwala is in the Eastern Province, where I'm coming from.
Look, if
I'm a proud Eastern.
Do you know of The Kulamba ceremony.
Kulamba Kuwalo ceremony, yes.
Kulamba, we also celebrate that one. It's celebrated by the cheerers, but we also celebrate it. We are one people, we're united.
Yeah. You know what is more important is that we must embrace these cultures as Zambia.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, because many of the times we get these to celebrate these cultures only on those specific days. But anyway, you're not a rich culture. Someone answered yesterday to say after all they depended on is it borrowed monies? Is it depending on
Who depends on borrowed monies? You know how much money we have, you.
gathering the fundraisers at Mulungushi? We saw that happening.
We always do that. It's
You know,
it's per tradition to do that because
But I've never seen such.
You know, even
the Lozes have a fundraising dinner.
Are they supported like the way you were supported?
yes,
Yes, they are.
let me tell you this. When one plans for an event, be it a fundraising or whatever event they are having, dinner, it takes unity.
Yeah.
It takes for them to come as one.
All right.
So I would call that it's a celebration of coming together. It's a celebration of unity. So I would call that to be something that is
Because
brainstorming.
look, it's very
Yes.
it's very
We are
good.
wise.
Yeah,
The
because
wise
we
people
start
from
with the
the East.
fundraising work. You know how many people participate in the fundraising work? A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
It's part of entertainment. It's part of unity, like Alice has put it.
Yeah, and also I was also happy to see the Lozi people who actually invited Shitimukulu to be their guest of
Yes.
honor. That happened last year. Just a reminder. And also we are yet to see more happenings. These traditional ceremonies brings about unity, and that is the most important part about it. Because one thing I get to understand is that Zambia as a nation, we are still maintaining our cultures. That's a very good thing. That's a very good thing. I was looking forward for that man, that slim man that made headlines
Last year?
Last year.
No, he was there this year.
This year.
This year we have another one that has really made headlines.
I think when I looked at that, I wouldn't say that is really culture. It's like you're now shunning away from it.
How?
The dress code that was there, I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
nim
saw-
papa, ni skin of
Animal
animal skin.
culture.
No. Did you check what really happened?
Are you? No, I didn't.
Yes,
I didn't
I know
check.
you're
I didn't check.
behind.
Yeah, I didn't check. I didn't check. I didn't actually check. You know one thing I get to understand about each and every traditional ceremony. But by the way, traditional ceremony is not our topic of focus. We're looking at the stories of the week. We try to touch here and there. But our main thing is that about traditional ceremonies, they bring about unity, and also they remind us where we are coming from. They started with the Zambezi River crossing, which was amazing. Though I was expecting someone to cross without the boats, but it was all luxurious.
Yeah, well,
That's it was also luxurious. We saw a Mercedes Benz this time around. Last time it was a Jeep.
Mupeza is just the best.
He's always, yes, I'm moving, he's pushing, and we are proud of you, sir. Nkosi.
Yamakos.
Yamakos.
Okay, we
dive into the newspaper pick, and also we get to see what unfolds in the newspaper.
Alice, you can go.
Our Zambia Daily Mail. Radicalize positive things, VP tells opposition. Vice President Mtale Nalumango has advised political opponents to join a new government program supporting vulnerable pregnant women. Yes. You heard that story?
Well, okay. The Mass newspaper. In the Mass newspaper, the main headline is actually a bit in line with what you're actually saying. You're from reading. Imita Ufole. Nalumango encourages women to fall pregnant to get paid.
The editors.
This story continues on page 3 in the Mass newspaper.
And the other story in the Zambia Daily Mail newspaper reads, police gunned down most wanted. Police in Dola have gunned down one of the most wanted criminals alleged to have committed a series of aggravated robberies in the district.
Police are making headlines. Is it that they post everything that they do? Or they are supposed to post everything
We
that
are
they do?
supposed to get the information. At least we know, okay, this is peace in our country now. These people that were
At least
actually...
to give them a bit of fear.
Yes.
To say, this is right, this is not right.
I think it's a way of wanting us to know that they are waking.
Continue, Alice.
Yes.
I take you to HH fires PS Akafumba others. President Hakainde Hichilema has fired Home Affairs and Internal Security Permanent Secretary Joseph Akafumba and 8 others with immediate effect. Hichilema has also made several transfers and new appointments at provincial minister and permanent secretarial levels. Kwadama firing, Kwadama reshuffle.
Reshuffle was not too long.
This one is a really touching and sad. Baby, 5 others die in cinder accident. A 5-month-old baby and 5 others travelers died instantly yesterday after a Ford Ranger they were traveling in carried off the road and crashed in a heap of blocks. This is in Cinder district. Such a very touching and sad story, I must say.
Looking at us celebrating the climax of Unchara ceremony today, I have this story in the Mass newspaper. Police warn Chwara goers on security.
Very, very important.
Yeah, security is very important. You know, mostly criminals take advantage of these
the
ceremonies.
Big events,
Okay, I think we've. It seems like most of the stories this week, it's all about Nchwala being the biggest ceremony. Okay. Then in international news, Pope Francis improving in hospital. Vatican City Pope Francis is showing improvement, is alert and doing some work. That is the story.
Okay.
Yes.
I take you to the sports segment in the Mass newspaper.
Which is your favorite?
Hamtule faces train Malawi test. Nora Hamtule's credential as Copper Queen's coach will today be tasted as she takes up her first international assignment sorry, let me read this again. As she takes up her first international assignment in Lusaka, where her side will face Malawi in a FIFA international friendly match. I'm sure our viewers, once we have our sports segment.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, as we say today, we are looking at the top stories that made headlines, especially this week. What is it that you have heard in your area, and especially on social media, as well as on is it that you can talk about this week? To start with, before we go on a short break, this is just to keep your heads up. Stakeholders condemns ministers and UPND MPs walk out during debate on high cost of living. The Advocates and National Development and Democracy ANDD is calling for President Hakainde Hichilema to dismiss cabinet ministers who walked out of parliament yesterday. That was Tuesday. Otherwise, and also they have demonstrated that they are not helping him in his quest of reducing the cost of living. This is the story that also made headlines this week.
We've also heard as the other stories that have actually made headlines this week, Henry. we've heard of Majabamene Banachita gun down
Police.
There's Bajabak Matero.
Yeah. Okay, so can I help you out?
Please go ahead.
I remember last week Saturday we had mentioned that police have caught those people that used to steal roundabout.
Father Pope Francis, him being unwell and receiving treatment. And I'm glad we've read that he's actually improving.
Yeah. And after the break, we'll actually give a brief statement from the bishops.
Right, we have so many stories coming up after a short break, and right up now we're going to break.
Saizwa ngomdumo bantwana bampezeni. Saizwa ngomdumo bantwana bampezeni. Gogo sibuhile ekhaya. Gogo sibuhile ekhaya. Saizwa ngomdumo bantwana bampezeni. Saizwa ngomdumo bantwana bampezeni. Gogo sibuhile ekhaya. Gogo sibuhile saizwa ngomdumo bantwana bampezeni. Saizwa ngomdumo bantwana bampezeni. Gogo sibuhile ekhaya. Gogo sibuhile
malibanza phakathi mtengula Dina Chimpinga Tinge Don't wait yamankosi layethe inkosi yamankosi layethe.
Welcome back. Of course, we have so much to expect from Chwala ceremony. That was just a sample, and you can simply tell us where you are watching us from and how you feel about this Lumen morning diary with us, the Lumen team. Guys, I was about to stand and dance the song.
About that song. There's just something about that song that would actually make you stand and dance to it.
And you know, once we're in this mood, I'm always singing it. Every day. I'm like, you know, okay. Angela Nerenda and Moses Sakala never disappoint when it comes to songs for the Nchwara ceremony.
Oh, yes.
All right. So, we have so much to talk about in Nchwala and, the performances, the dances. And right up now, we just have to be fed by the food. With the food for the soul by Father Arthur. We'll go on a short break. On the other side, it's food for the soul.
Are you around town and wondering about where you can get a nice meal? Well, look no further than Yamushe Restaurant. At Yamushe Restaurant, we serve nice meals ranging from shima with chicken, shima with T-bone, shima with fresh fish, shima with sausage and assorted vegetables. We also sell snacks and refreshments. We are located right in town along Cairo Road behind Zanaco Bank. For your weddings, kitchen parties, Chilanga Mulilo, and your birthday celebrations, we have a very nice place located in Road Park near Zesco main offices. Come and enjoy T-bone and soup yambuzi. For more information, you can call us on 0975 37 18 10 or 0977 67 13 94. Yamusha General Dealers, we care for you all.
awe switi pano panganda mwanzi tuachula teni tushite pofi momone insala seti ya kuleta pati aba nesu myotoka balensha ifine ndefora feshwa tushao kwa awe switi mtontonka nipo.
Welcome back, and now we have to be ready for the food for the soul. And right up now, we've been joined with Father Arthur on this important segment. Father, good morning.
Good morning, Henry.
Good morning, Father.
Morning, Alice.
We are very much ready.
The
day is today.
day is mine. These things we need to help each other.
Asking Alice and General to say, I think for me, I have to maintain my lane because I know.
No, you maintain your lane. you really have to maintain your lane. This doesn't concern you at all. Yeah.
Father, we are very much ready to be fed.
Yes. Today I reflect on how to cope with sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think a lot of people lose their mind in running up and down. You've been working mind to doing all sorts of things because that is what their life has been. But then they get sick. They can't do any of those things. If they're not very strong, they get depressed. So sickness grounds you. You know, whether you like it or not, you're not going to act like this. But we could reflect on this because I think we have all been sick at one point. And when we talk about our faith being tested during the time of sickness, I think we all know what we are talking about. We start asking a lot of questions. Why should this be happening now and why not tomorrow? Today I have to do this and this and this, but then I can't go because this is how I'm feeling. Why can't God just allow this thing to come next week or next month so that He gives me this time to attend to these issues? Does God even love me? Does He even care that this is happening and all that? So a lot of questions flood our minds, and we don't really know how to handle ourselves. Those people that come to visit us, we think maybe they are just they're just irritating. They are just they should just leave me alone. You know, a lot of things begin to happen. So how do we handle ourselves during that time of sickness, especially if we have been so active that maybe we even thought we could not ever fall sick at any point? Like we will just be active all the time, but then this happens. How do we handle ourselves? It is important for us to understand that we are fragile people. Our bodies are fragile. Our spirits are also fragile. God allows us to be active at some point. At another point, maybe doesn't allow that. Maybe that is also a moment that God gives us to reflect on the activities of our lives. You know, that's the moment that God gives us to reflect on our relationship with Him. Just that He gives us that moment of reflection when our faith is tested during sickness. Yeah. It's important for us to understand that we can't just be strong all the time. At some point we have to break off our routine and meditate and reflect. When I fall sick, it's not like God He doesn't care about me anymore, or God is trying to throw me out of His presence and all that. It doesn't mean that there is something like I have done something bad, so God is punishing me. It is a time of reflection also. It's a time when we have to renew our relationship with God, with ourselves, our relationship with other people as well. When we talk about our faith being tested, what we mean is when we have to reflect on our relationship with God, with ourselves, with others. This happens when we are in pain. Yeah. I mean, you can reflect on these relationships. You don't have to fall sick for you to, yeah. But unfortunately, this has to happen when we are sick. There's something that God is trying to say about that. Yes, there's this part we are talking about, reflecting on where we're coming from, on our relationships and all that. But there's also this other part. God is trying to remind us about the fragility of life. That within just an instant, life can change. We are not masters of life. We are not the owners of life. We didn't give ourselves life, so to say. Life is fragile. So even as we go about our daily business and all that, we should not ever think that we can't be grounded at any point, because it is easy for us to think like that when nothing is going wrong with our physical selves. Like when we are just strong, and it's very easy for us to think in so chabe omoyo wanga ozankala olimba so chabe. Yeah. But God always reminds us about the fragility of life when we fall sick. That's the time for us to think about where we're coming from with our God, where we are, and how we want to proceed. Should God give us an opportunity to live again, to be strong again? I don't want to ask you how you how you handled your own time of sickness or time of not feeling well. But I think this is something that we have all experienced.
Yes.
And always the question when this happens, the question that comes is, what now? Am I surviving?
Yeah.
Is my life going down? Am I dying? And a lot of things begin to worry us. But life is fragile. We have to remember that we might even die. I mean, what about those that have died before? They fell sick and they died. Didn't they die? They did. Yeah. So yes, we might even die. When you fall sick, you might die. Or you might survive. God might give you another opportunity to live. What is important is for us to understand that whatever happens, we have to create a relationship with our Creator, because this life is not ours. It's not ultimately ours. It belongs to God. It belongs to somebody else. Yeah. So let me end with this statement that whether you like it or not, at any point in life, things can change. You might fall sick today. Things can change. Like, in the morning you wake up strong, doing your daily chores, daily business. In the evening, life changes. So at every given time, at every given point, one has to have a relationship with the Creator, because we don't know what is going to happen the minute after.
Yeah.
Just on that one, Father, talking about sickness, yes, there's always this question sometimes we ask when one gets sick, like, why me? Why am I having this sickness? Why do I have to go through this? When we ask that question, we forget to say, okay, who do you want to have that sickness? Saying why me? But who? We forget that question.
Exactly.
And talking about sickness, many at times, yes, we only concentrate on the person that is sick. But what about that person who is nursing?
Yeah.
It's also
the caregiver.
Because it also affects when one is nursing somebody who is sick. It's really...
That's an important point. Those who are caregivers, the bedsiders, so to say.
Yes.
Yeah, many times we forget about them. We forget about how affected they are by what is happening, in the life of their loved one whom they are nursing. Yeah, we look at them. They look strong. Strong. They are running up and down. They go to that office to get the results for the patient. They run to the pharmacy to get this, like they are. But we forget about how broken they could be within themselves. Yeah. Even when we go to, in fact, this is very important, because when we go to visit the sick, what we want to go and do there is to pray for the sick. In our prayer, we don't even mention
the bedside.
The bedside. Our concentration is this one here, who is sick. Yeah. And the bedside, of course, the bedsiders don't complain. But why are you not praying for me? They don't complain because they understand you are there to see the patient. But the fact is, they could also be broken within themselves. It's not easy to be nursing, because you are virtually grounded. You are basically grounded also. You can't do anything because you have to be on the side of this person. So when we go to see the sick, to visit the sick, we have to remember also those that are nursing them, because they might look strong physically, but inside spiritually they are depressed. They are broken by what is going on in the life of their loved one. So yeah, we forget about those, which I think is unfortunate. We have to pray for them as well. It's not easy.
All right, Father, before you leave, we are looking at the stories of the week. Of course, we have so many stories that surfaced this week where we are seeing Pope Francis being sick, and then we also looked at the stories of Zesco. There are so many stories actually that made headlines this week. The stories of Nchwala. Definitely, which story before you leave you can talk about, maybe under 1 minute?
Well, I will talk about something that is closer to me, or close to me. The Holy Father, the Pope, is still hospitalized. Yeah, and the media houses, different media houses, Western media, they are saying a lot of things about what is going on, and our our ordinary Catholics don't really know what is authentic and what is not authentic. You know, they are going to go to this website which has written this and this about the Pope situation and all that. Some of them would even believe that as the truth. So what I want to say is there's only one media outlet that will give you authentic news about what is happening. Authentic updates about the Pope's sickness and everything that is surrounding his situation, and that is the Vatican News. It's a website like any other website. It is Vatican News is on Facebook. You search Vatican News, you find it. It is there. Just like it, just follow it. Then you follow the news. Vatican website. Go to the web. That is the only authentic. Or that is the only media outlet that will give you authentic news about the Pope. That aside, but I think even during his time of sickness, he has been asking for the world to pray for him, but not only for him, also for those that are hospitalized. Yeah, for him, it's also a special moment to pray for many other people that are hospitalized, not just in Gemelli, the hospital where he is, but also in other hospitals, our own UTH and other hospitals here in Zambia and all over the world. It's a time to pray for those that are sick. The latest news we have is that he is improving. Yeah, I was just reading last night the latest update from the Vatican News that he is improving. But they can't let him go just now. They can't. What do you call when somebody's been released from hospital? Discharged. Yeah. So they can't discharge him just now because they still have to observe him. But at least he's improving and he's out of that danger, which in which he was a few days ago. But they are saying they can't let him go because there's still that complex situation is still there. The complexity that, and especially considering his age, so he has to be under observation at least for the whole of next week. After next week, they can discharge him if the situation will warrant that. So we continue praying for him. We continue praying for all the sick. We continue wishing him. Don't read those media blogs or whatever that are saying whatever they are saying. Just go to Vatican News and then you get the whole news that you want to get about what is happening. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Father, for clearing the air actually for things that have been speculating on social media and other media houses. Actually, the correct media to follow about these situations have been revealed. Thank you very much, Father, for coming through to Lumen Morning Diary.
Thank you so much.
All right, up next we'll go on a short break. Up next, it's health segment. Welcome back. And now we are at a point where we need to hear some solutions according to what Father had said. Actually, earlier on, he was talking about sickness and disease. Right up now, we've been joined by Dr. Jonathan Soko, who is the health practitioner, and to give us some solutions actually to some of the diseases that some of the problems that worries most of the people out there. When you're sick, where do you go to? You go to the hospital, and many other times people would say, I want to see Dr. Jonathan Soko is here. Good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
And welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure having you.
So whenever we see you here, we're always like, we want to tell you our problems, our health problems. We need solutions instantly.
Sometimes for me, I grew up knowing that if you have a friend who is a doctor, there is no need of going to hospital. You just ask him, they say, me, I've got this problem, I'm feeling like this. What should I do? No, you need to do some tests. No, you know. If someone explains, yeah.
They're always referring you to go to the hospital. No matter what.
They're always referring you to go to the hospital. But again, once you go to the hospital and you tell them, I was given this, they'll be like, no. Why did they give you this medication? Try this out.
Why didn't you just tell me
Yeah, at times they'll be like, why didn't you tell me? You didn't have even
and sometimes people would want to say, okay, you'd have to go. You'd have to undergo through lumbar puncture, and definitely this is what we are looking at today. What is it that we have to know about lumbar puncture? And the doctor is here to give us all the solutions. Doc, what is lumbar puncture?
Thank you so much for that question. I must state that this is a very big myth in our community. It's like lumbar puncture is a death sentence, so to say. When you hear that someone is supposed to undergo a lumbar puncture, everyone is scared. This is it. Patient is dying. This one will be gone. But then it's a different ballgame altogether when we get to the hospital. Now, lumbar puncture is like any other procedure. Its purpose is just for diagnostic and therapeutic purposes. So it's performed by trained people on any person that they suspect some conditions that are affecting the CNS or the brain, or for lack of a better term. But I should also state that there are many procedures of this kind that are done globally. In fact, we don't have our own statistics in Zambia, but if you look at the states, I think there's one study that they took on just one particular hospital. In a year, they performed about over 300,000 lumbar punctures.
Really?
You can imagine. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a very huge number.
And just to mention, if you know any person that has undergone a cesarean section during birth, they undergo lumbar puncture.
Really? Okay, so why and when is it performed? When should one undergo lumbar puncture?
So like I earlier mentioned, lumbar puncture is a procedure that you do to get access to the cerebrospinal space where you get the fluid called the CSF, right? And this is a space that is connected to the brain. So any suspicion of a condition that affects the brain is an indication for you to do lumbar puncture. For instance, if an assessment is made over a patient and you're suspecting that this patient might have meningitis based on how they've presented, that is an indication for you to do a lumbar puncture. Number two, if you are suspecting that someone, let's say they were in a road traffic accident, and you're suspecting that this patient might be bleeding internally, these are things that you need to also do, because you are suspecting that someone might have what they call subarachnoid hemorrhage, bleeding within the space where the spinal fluid is. Number three, in cases where cancers in general, where they've metastasized to other places, the brain is not spared. So if you want to catch those cancer cells or malignant cells in this fluid, you can do a lumbar puncture. In other cases where you have increased intracranial pressure, so within the space where the brain is, there's too much pressure, someone is presenting with consistent headaches, they can't they overly react to light, all those are indications for you to do a lumbar puncture. But then on the other side of it, they are also
Scary.
to demystify this problem of lumbar puncture. On the other side, you'll find that there are many reasons why we shouldn't do it also.
Yeah.
And I think the most important one is the patient's refusal. So when you come to the hospital, you have the right to tell us what not to do to you and what not to do to you. So if you say, I don't want this, we cannot do. And this is why you find that most of the cases that deal with brain infections are not even dealt with because people refuse to do a lumbar puncture so that those problems can easily be identified.
Okay. You have something to say? Because
yes. And I don't know if it's in the same line with the question that I want to ask General. For me, is him saying how it's actually done. I just want to find out where is the lumbar puncture procedure often performed.
Okay.
Yes.
So the landmarks really, in general, for the sake of our viewers, I don't want to start getting into anatomy here to say what level and all that, but it's at the back. You know, the vertebral column, what we call the spinal cord, which is not really it. It's not the bone that people refer to as the spinal cord. Yes. Below, just below the back there, there are levels like L1, L2, L3, up to L5. Those are different types of the vertebral bones, like the levels at which they are. So in that space is where you get to inject your needle to get that spinal fluid. So the reason why we go to those areas is because the brain is made up of that brain tissue, but also a stalk, which is called the spinal cord. But then that level from L3 to like L5 there, you find that that part, the last part of the brain, is up there. So you reduce the chances of you nicking the brain tissue by you going below the areas of L3, L4, L5. Yes.
Right. Before I ask questions, people say, anyway, I think it will lead to the same question that I'm about to ask. What are the common complications of lumbar puncture?
Okay. So just like in any other procedure, you draw
This one is special.
A lumbar puncture is just like any other procedure. You come to the hospital and you say, I'm feeling this certain way, and we propose to you that we need to get blood. It's the same way. I'm feeling a headache, or maybe I'm having visual impairment. We want to do a lumbar puncture. It's like any other invasive procedure. So
this one is special.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. So when we talk about the complications, mainly it's the result of what we do, because the procedure itself allows you to get access to a space that is never touched. It's a sterile space. So you poke it and you get some fluid. Most of the common complications that we see, number one is a headache, which they call post-dural puncture headache or post-lumbar puncture headache. So you have this headache that just comes because that space has been invaded in some, for lack of a better term, in some way. Number two, because we are poking through different layers of tissue, you might have some minimal bleeding and form a clot within the space, or let's say the epidural space around the CSF, which is called a hematoma. You can have a hematoma. Number three, one of the most dangerous, but this is not to scare people or scare you here, is a brain herniation. So you find that because you've done herniation. Yes. So like brain tissue actually now dropping down into the vertebral column there, because you've maybe drawn so much of that fluid and space has just collapsed like that. That one causes respiratory depression and can lead to death. It's very dangerous.
Okay. All right, our dear viewers, you can participate by simply calling on the numbers that are on the screen that you're able to see right up there. The doc is still here to attend to you on some of the questions that you might have in line with lumbar puncture. Many of the times people refuse to undergo such procedures, and the doc is here to give you an assurance as into why you're supposed to do it.
Just to mention something, you know, if let's say I'm going into a war, I must know my opponents, and it's the same thing. If I'm going to treat someone who comes with what I'm suspecting to be, let's say meningitis, for example, I must know what I'm dealing with, because meningitis also in different let's say categories, I should say. You can have fungal infections that cause meningitis. For instance, cryptococcal meningitis. You can have bacterial meningitis, which is very common. TB meningitis is under bacterial meningitis. You can have viral meningitis. You can have chemical meningitis. You can have parasitic meningitis. Even these things that we talk about, like cerebral malaria, those are things that are affecting the brain. So how do I know I should give an antibiotic here or I should give an antifungal if I don't know what I'm dealing with?
Okay. Does it mean the people that undergo the lumbar puncture, is it that they're already weak? That's why most of them don't make it. You detect it when it's too late or what? What happens? You know, that's why people are really scared. Most of the times when someone undergoes a lumbar puncture, they barely make it.
So I think from my experience, what I've seen, because I've done a few lumbar punctures on patients. One, we start discussing with you. Say, at this point, this is what we suspect. Can you give us the permission to go ahead and investigate? And then people say, let me consult home, let me ask my husband, let me ask grandma in the village.
So
time is going, and disease processes continue to progress. So they reach a point where now there's nothing else to do. And now you've just said, okay, we're going to leave this in the doctor's hands. So at this point, let's now do the lumbar puncture. When the situation has really gone bad. So you find that you do a lumbar puncture, unless you're still in the process of investigating this patient. Patient collapses because consent has been given late. Remember I said one important contraindication that I cannot perform a lumbar puncture on you is you refusing. We are offering a service, but without your permission, we cannot do anything. So late consenting to what we propose is what leads to people complicating into death because the disease has advanced.
I think the negative part comes if you've actually experienced maybe a relative that had undergone lumbar puncture and they had died, and that picture comes into your head of saying, I don't want, when you have another patient who wants to undergo the same, and you would say, seafood and a lumbar puncture because of the experience that you actually underwent. For me personally, I also had mixed feelings about it, because after undergoing that, it was just actually it was 2 days after he had gone through lumbar puncture and then he died. I didn't want to hear the word lumbar puncture because I thought, okay, but you know, being educated and wanting to find out, like, okay, what really happened, what caused that, you get to find more information and just come to understand, okay, let me be educated about it. Because once you experience something that has caused maybe your relative to their death, you want to find more information that, okay, let me learn about this thing, because once I hear the word, it triggers me. Okay, let me find more interest and learn about it. What is the cause? What really went wrong? I think on that one, Doc, it really needs more sensitizing to the people. They need to understand it's just not the word that I hear, I should be scared. Find out more. What is lumbar puncture? Why? Okay. What really caused his or her death? Is it really because they did that performance? I think it's very, very important.
Yeah, I should mention that before any procedure, it's protocol that we sit you down, explain to you exactly what we're going to do, number one, why we're doing it, what are the possible complications, and what are the negatives about this procedure, then what are the positives, so that you make an informed decision. Even as you give us permission to work on you, you know exactly what to expect. Even when certain things come in, like complications, let's say a headache, you know because someone has talked to you about it, that you might have some headache after this procedure, and this is what you're supposed to do to alleviate that. But again, you should also look at the positive part of it. Interact with women who have undergone a cesarean section, for instance. I think that's the best example I can give, because every woman that has gone through, especially in our setting here, every woman who has gone through a cesarean section, they have gone through a lumbar puncture for us to introduce a medication that numbs their body.
And they survive.
And they survive.
Exactly. So why is it that when someone is
because even when one, like I'd said, after the death of my brother, there's all that condemnation. Who agreed for him to do that? Maybe if you didn't agree, this thing would have not happened. Maybe he would still be alive. There's just, you blame this one, you blame that one. So I think it just needs more sensitization to the people. They should be aware.
Yes. And I think this is one of the ways that we can do that. We need to demystify the idea that a lumbar puncture is a death sentence. It's not.
It's not a death sentence.
No, it's actually,
It's not.
no, it's not.
It's not a death sentence.
He's given a very good example. So a woman that has gone through
Cesarean section.
Yes. So in your concluding remarks, Doc, about a lumbar puncture to the viewers out there.
Okay, so I'll summarize what I've said. If a health practitioner suggests to you that we need to do a lumbar puncture, firstly, understand why they want to do it. And then if it's cases of infection or just any problem that they've mentioned to you, you should know that the brain is a very special area. Your heart can be beating, but once your brain is gone, that is it, you are gone. So once they tell you what they want to do, do not take so long to give consent for these things to be done, because progression of diseases in the brain is kind of rapid, it's fast. One time you're talking to someone, the next time they're just comatose and they can't speak anymore. So we need to take quick action. So do not take too much time to give consent, and always ask for information for you to make that decision. But remember, I'll repeat this, a lumbar puncture is not a death sentence. It's actually very good for us to know what we're dealing with and give you appropriate treatment for whatsoever is causing your problems.
Wow.
You have something to say?
No, the only thing I can say is thank you for removing the fear from me.
I actually felt it from the distance. I was scared. All right, that was Dr. Jonathan Soko, who gave us an insight regarding lumbar puncture. Thank you very much, Doc, for coming through.
You are most welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. Right up now, we'll go on a short break. Up next, it's Sports segment.
Hello and welcome to the sports segment of the Breakfast Show. My name is Vincent Puri, and today the big one is the Copper Queens. They'll be playing a friendly against the Scorchers of Malawi at Woodland Stadium. And this is a very important game that Zambia and Malawi are preparing. Zambia is preparing for the WAFCON, and they've qualified to the WAFCON. Of course, they'll be playing in Morocco, and the Scorchers are preparing for the WAFCON qualifiers. They were supposed to play against Congo, but Congo has pulled out, meaning that Malawi will get 3 points and 3 goals in that game. But they just have to play a game before they can play the other game. So they decided to play a friendly against Zambia. They'll play 2 friendlies. The first one will be today at 15 hours, and the other one will be played on Thursday on the 25th of February. This game is very, very important for the 2 teams because, yes, they need to play these two friendlies before they get to the Africa Cup, especially for the Zambia national team. A lot of people say, why Zambia playing Malawi? Malawi is a small team, but look, Malawi has got very, very good players. We talk about the Chawinga sisters. One plays for the plays in the USA, where Barbara Banda, Rachel Kundananji, Grace Chanda, Priska Chilufia are playing, and that is a very, very strong league. And she is the top scorer in that league. Look, that shows that they are a very good team. The other sister, Tabita Chawinga, plays for Lyon in France. Again, a very, very good striker. She scores goals week in and week out. Zambia, on the other hand, yes, they have very good players, and we hope to see a very good game this today at 15 hours. The other very important game is that Zambia is going to play a friendly against Russia. Of course, Russia are on suspension. They can't play football, but they also need to play some competitive football. And so they have invited Zambia to play against them right there in Moscow. Zambia has qualified to the Africa Cup, and they are using this as a preparatory match to play at the Africa Cup, where they've been drawn in a very, very tough group, where there is Morocco, there is Mali, Senegal, there is Mali, and yeah. So this is going to be a very, very important friendly for Zambia before they play the Africa Cup. We now look at the fixtures for the MTN Super League games that will be played today and tomorrow. Nchanga Rangers today will play against Nkana Football Club. Nchanga Rangers are a team that is not doing so well on the league. They are lying third from the bottom, and I think they will be looking at this game to redeem themselves, knowing that they are playing at home. Of course, they will need to at least get maximum points and move out of the relegation zone, but this will not be done very easily, because Nkana, on the other hand, are on position number 4, and they'll be looking at this game as a game that they make sure they get 3 maximum points, so that they leapfrog the team that is just above them to get to number 3 on the log. The other game is that which will feature Forest Rangers playing against Mutondo. Green Eagles will play against Atletico. Atletico hasn't been doing so well this season, in the second half of the season, but I think they will be looking at Green Eagles, because Green Eagles also hasn't been doing so well in the second half of the season. So this again will be a very, very important game for the two teams, as they will be looking for 3 points and see whether Atletico will move out of the relegation zone, or is it Green Eagles that will get the maximum points. Indeni Football Club will play against Zesco United. Indeni is a team that is lying bottom on the log, playing against the log leaders, Zesco United, and of course Zesco United will make sure they maximize their points and get 3 maximum points against Indeni. Red Arrows will play against Napsa Stars, a Lusaka derby. This game will be played today at the Nkoloma Stadium, of course, and Mighty Mfulira Wanderers will play against Nkwazi Football Club. Mighty Mfulira Wanderers are just coming from a loss against Napsa Stars. I think they will make sure they collect maximum points when they play against Nkwazi. Our Dynamos will play against Muza, and Zanaco will play against Umwana Radiance. Of course, Zanaco haven't been doing so well in the log, and they will be playing against Umwana Radiance, whom I think they can get maximum points. This can just help them start getting out of the relegation zone. Green Buffaloes will play against Cabo Warriors. This will be another very, very tough game that will be played tomorrow. And Green Buffaloes against Cabo Warriors. Buffaloes lying mid-table, and Cabo Warriors are a team that this season are trying to make sure they win the league by winning this game that they're going to play. That's all that we have for today, and I'll take it over to the ladies and the gentlemen that are running the show.
Are you around town and wondering about where you can get a nice meal? Well, look no further than Yamushe Restaurant. At Yamushe restaurant, we serve nice meals ranging from shima with chicken, shima with T-bone, shima with fresh fish, shima with sausage and assorted vegetables. We also sell snacks and refreshments. We are located right in town along Cairo Road behind Zanaco Bank. For your weddings, kitchen parties, Chilanga Mulilo, and your birthday celebrations, we have a very nice place located in Road Park near Zesco main offices. Come and enjoy T-bone and soup yambuzi. For more information, you can call us on 0975 37 18 10 or 0977 67 13 94. Yamushe General Dealers, we care for you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Piri, for those sports updates. You know, we've been talking about the Nchwala ceremony that is happening today. We're forgetting we have a game today. Are you people even aware?
No, the Nchwala has actually taken the center of attraction.
Yeah,
it's also been, been one of the biggest ceremonies in Zambia.
And now the losses, I've been checking through social media, the losses keep saying, it's Komboka, it's Komboka. Okay, enjoy your day. We'll show you how to paddle in April. As we don't need life jackets, you get. Yeah, we have a game today in Woodland Stadium. Zambia, that's a Shipolopolo. The ladies, not Wawena Patsondaka, Wawena Baba Banda. Yeah, they have a friendly match against Malawi.
Yeah,
which will be at 15 hours.
And also one thing.
And we'll be there.
Yeah, we have to be there. You know, one thing that has also made me feel good for the first time, I saw the Shipolopolo training at Pamodzi Hotel, you know, just there at the hotel. People think that when they go at the hotel, they just sleep, but it was training as usual.
Sleep and eat.
What were you doing at the hotel?
What was I doing at the hotel? Actually, I was just passing. Yeah, and also the other thing that we also saw, Zambia, also the training, or when you go on the FAZ social media platform, you see the coach actually also leading the team. Yeah, doing some drills.
You know, this is her first game since she came to be in charge. Alice, are you aware that we have a new coach?
You know, when it comes to soccer, I only learn things from new people.
Yes.
So yeah, telling me.
Yes, we actually have a new coach. We actually have a new coach. We no longer have Bruce Mwape, who used to be the coach for the female team. Now we have Nora. So this is her first game.
Her first game
in charge.
Yeah, we wish her all the best since it's her first game.
The other thing is that General mentioned about Bruce Mwape. You know, Banyana, the South African coach for the South African women football team, also commented on the social media saying Bruce Mwape was not actually appreciated the way he was supposed to be appreciated.
Yeah, he was underrated.
Yeah, he was underrated.
Though people would say, you know, he had different views from different soccer fans that would say, Timu inawakudila.
Really?
Yes.
I feel sometimes we fail to give flowers to people when they are still.
Yeah, imagine when he's still alive. Actually, for me, I would encourage the soccer analysts here, especially General Bapiri and Mr. Mafuta, actually to go to Bruce Mwape and appreciate him. You can also do better. Yeah, you can do better. You know, Zambia, we should run away from. I mean, we should shun away from that tendency whereby you only appreciate someone when they die.
They're gone.
Yeah, when they are gone.
And I feel sorry to say this, my soccer fans. In Zambia, we've got a tendency of not appreciating our local coaches. It's rare that we'd see someone from Zambia lead a team for years and appreciate them.
Yeah.
We always want people from outside Zambia. We're different from our friends. Look at Senegal. Senegal have had an African coach, a coach that played for a team. They have won the Africa Cup with him. They appreciate him each and every time. This is the problem that we're even facing with the men's team.
Yeah.
We don't give room to our fellow Zambians.
As for me, I'm just shaking my head. At least it's always blank when it comes to.
Okay, so I'll take you back to the Nchwara ceremony. I came across this yesterday's statement, where Chief Mpezeni Nkosi Yamakosi said, this ceremony is not about politics.
No.
This ceremony is for everyone. He doesn't want any politician to go and alter something that is political, because it's a ceremony for all, to unite every Zambian.
Just to embrace everyone. Like, everyone is welcome to go there. Them denders are welcome to go there.
Otherwise, you see me in the same when going to watch football in the afternoons, actually. You know, Nchwara is back to back, and also we do thank for those who have taken their time to go and participate. I just heard that the rooms, the lodges are full. For us to just follow the
This shows that we have a rich culture that everybody is following.
And you know, people are even renting out their own homes.
Yes. All right.
That's a good thinking.
Don't forget that it's business as usual, especially on such events. As the Lumen Morning Diary, we come to the end of the show. Don't forget that we come to you through every Saturday, where we talk about different stories that makes headlines. Don't forget, we also have the health segments, sports segment, food for the soul, where we get to be fed with the word of God and get encouraged.
Yes. It's been a wonderful journey. Of course, we've learnt a lot today. You know, Father had actually shared topics about the topic about sick. One being sick and how we handle ourselves, which we've actually learned, and the health segment where we were talking about lumbar puncture. I believe you, the viewers, have gotten one or two things about it. Thank you for always following Lumen TV and for watching the Morning Diary. Remember, Lumen TV is on channel 101 on Topstar, and you can follow us on Facebook. Better still, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Lumen TV.
General?
Being gone in my DNA is, I would like to tell the people in the Eastern Province that they should celebrate this ceremony safely. They shouldn't be too overexcited about it. We don't want to lose lives because of the overexcitement. And those that are not in the Eastern Province, let's have interest and watch it on different platforms. At least we need to see them Nkosi Yamakosi drinking the blood. You know, that's my favorite part. Where he drinks the cow blood. I really, really enjoy that. I really enjoy that part. And I'll see you at Woodland Stadium.
Woodland Stadium, we're coming. I see you there at 15 hours. We come to the end of the show. For us, it's bye-bye.
Are you around town and wondering about where you can get a nice meal? Well, look no further than Yamushe Restaurant. At Yamushe Restaurant, we serve nice meals ranging from shima with chicken, shima with T-bone, shima with fresh fish, shima with sausage and assorted vegetables. We also sell snacks and refreshments. We are located right in town along Cairo Road behind Zanaco Bank. For your weddings, kitchen parties, Chilanga Mulilo, and your birthday celebrations, we have a very nice place located in Roach Park near Zesco main offices. Come and enjoy T-bone and soup yambuzi. For more information, you can call us on 0975 37 18 10 or 0977 67 13 94. Yamusha General Dealers, we care for you all.